In this video, we will try to solve the numerical problem on equi-marginal utility in Excel. So, first let us read the problem. Here the problem is that consider the following table to find the optimum commodity bundle. So here this table is given where we have the information on the units of X and the marginal utility of the commodity X. Also we have the information on the units of Y and the corresponding marginal utilities of the commodity Y. So by using this table we need to find out the optimum commodity bundle. Now, a part of this marginal utility information, we also have the information on the price of the commodities. Here it is written that the price of commodity X is rupees 2 and the price of commodity Y is rupees 1. A part of that, we have the information on the individual's income. The income of the individual here is rupees 10. So let us solve this problem. First, we need to put that information, all the informations that we do have here, particularly the information on the price and the individual's income in the Excel file. So here we have this cells where price of X, what's given, price of X we have here is 2. So we will write price of X as rupees 2. And what is the price of Y? Price of Y is 1. So we will write here in this column 1. What is the income of that individual? Income of that individual is rupees 10. So we will write here 10. Now here we need to find out the quantity of X and quantity of Y that the consumer will decide to purchase. So let us move to the next components. So here if you look at this place, you will find that maximum expenditure or capacity, or we can say the budget of that individual, that is nothing but 10. So we will write here equal to the income, that is 10. So enter. How much the cost of the bundle that the consumer can tolerate, that is nothing but again the same value, that is 10. So it will be equal to the 10. But how this 10 we will calculate here when we are calculating the cost? Cost is nothing but the price, here I am writing it, cost of this bundle is what? Cost equal to the price of the commodity multiplied by the quantity of the commodity. If we are talking about X, so price of X multiplied by the quantity of X. And if I add here the commodity Y's price, so commodity Y's price multiplied by the quantity of commodity Y, correct? So here if I calculate the cost of the bundle, it will be equal to, first bracket, price of the commodity X multiplied by the quantity of that bundle. Quantity of that bundle we did not decide yet, we will decide it, but now we are multiplying it just because of the need of the formula. So here multiplied by the quantity of the commodity X plus we have one more commodity Y. So we will multiply with the price of Y the quantity of Y. So we have multiplied. Now here the value is coming 0. Why 0? Because we have not decided the quantities of the commodity X and Y yet. We will decide it. When we will decide, accordingly the value or at this cell or the value of the cost of the bundle will vary. Now one more component we have added here, that is called signal. So signal is what? Signal, at the place of signal, see here what are the formula I have given, that if the maximum expenditure capacity is equal to the cost of the bundle, that means the D25, this cell equal to this cell. So if this is the case, then we will give the signal as stop. If it is not equal, then we will try to find out whether it is greater or it is less. If it is greater, here I have written, if it is greater means if the maximum capacity is greater than the cost of the bundle, we will write continue to purchase. We will write continue to purchase. On the other way, if the cost of the bundle exceeds the maximum capacity of that individual, we will write there reduce the purchase. So this is the formula. We incorporated it in the form of the signal. So now our calculation cells are prepared. Now the next step, we will move to identify the marginal utilities by adjusting the price. So let us move to the next step. We reach to the next step. Here what we need to do, we need to calculate the marginal utility of X divided by the price of X. Price of X. Again, we have inserted the column F, and here we need to calculate marginal utility of Y divided by the price of Y. Easily we can calculate it by dividing the marginal utility values that we do have here. Now remember here, for this row, that is the unit of X is 0 and unit of Y is 0, that means the consumer is not consuming the commodities at all. So definitely in this case there will be no value for the marginal utility. So we can ignore this cell. Since we are ignoring this cell, just let me put a shadow. Yes. So we have marked these cells in green because we are ignoring these cells. These cells are not having any values of marginal utilities. So our consideration, our analysis will be started from the first unit of X and the first unit of Y. Now here price of X already written, that is price of X is 2. So we will put the formula 20 divided by the price of X, which is 2. This cell, the price of X will be fixed irrespective of the units of the commodity X. So we will put the dollar sign here and made that cell fixed. Now just drag and drop. So here we found out various values of the marginal utility of X adjusted by the price of X. Now we will do the same thing with the commodity Y. So the formula will be equal to marginal utility of Y divided by the price of Y. Again, the price of Y, this cell is fixed, so we will put the dollar sign at here. So dollar sign, enter. Now just drag and drop. Yes. So we also have generated the marginal utility of Y with the adjustment of the price of Y. Now we need to compare between these two columns. So I'm just highlighting the columns here in the color yellowish color, with the yellowish color where you highlighted it. So the calculation at here in the quantity of y now we have to do. So what we will do here, the decisions whether the x or y we will buy, these decisions we will write in the decision column. So in the decision column, if we write x, then here in the quantity of x it will be 1. So like that we have to calculate. How we can calculate? In this case we will use the function count if. So count if now we will give the range. So we will select it from the first unit and we will drag and drop, selected the range, and then when we will calculate these values if the value is x. So it's a string, we will write x, and see here already I have written x, so it came as 1. I'm just deleting this value because it is not based on the comparison of these marginal utilities. Just randomly I have written that value, so I have deleted it. Now for the case of y, again we will use the same formula, that is count if. Let us select the range. So we have selected the range, and then when we will count if the string is y. So we have written y, bracket close, enter. Now automatically these cells will calculate the amount of x and amount of y. Now we need to focus only on the decisions. So compare the first unit of x and the first unit of y. Which one is giving greater amount of marginal utility? Obviously it is the unit y. Sorry, it is the y commodity, first unit of y, because here it is 20 and here it is 10. So the consumer will purchase commodity y. Now the first unit of y has already been purchased. So we just put a different shade at here. This we will no more consider. Now we will compare the first unit of y with first unit of y. We will compare the second unit of, with the first unit of x. Now we will compare the second unit of y. Now what are the marginal utilities after adjusting the price? For the first unit it is 10. For the second unit of y it is 15. So again consumer will decide to buy second unit of y. So we will write in the decision y. Here we have written y. So this amount or the second unit of y has already been purchased. Now it is the comparison between third unit of y and the first unit of x. If we look at the marginal utilities, in both the cases it is 10. So consumer can buy either x or y. For the sake of simplicity, let us write here x. So consumer is buying first unit of x. Just put a different shade. Yes. So now the comparison is between second unit of x and the third unit of y. In this case, definitely third unit of y is giving more utility, marginal utility after adjusting the price. So what the consumer will buy? In this case, the consumer will buy commodity y. So third unit of y has been bought. So again we will put a different shade at here. So till now we are getting the signal continue purchase. That means the consumer is having few extra amount of money with which he can continue the purchase. So again we will compare the marginal utilities of second unit of x and the fourth unit of y. So here second unit of x is having greater amount of marginal utility, which is equal to 8. So consumer at this situation, consumer will go for second unit of X. So we have written X. We will put a differentiate since the consumer already bought the second unit of X. How much money remain? That is 7 units only the consumer has spent. So the consumer is left with 3 rupees. So here we will continue again the comparison. Here the comparison will be between third unit of X and the fourth unit of Y. Remember here again we reached to a situation where both the marginal utilities amounts are same. So consumer can buy any of these two. Let us write it as X for the convenience. So here we will put a differentiate. Now coming to the comparison between units of X, which is the fourth unit of X, and the fourth unit of Y, which is having higher greater amount of utility, that is the marginal utility of Y is greater for the fourth unit of Y. So we will write here Y. Now look at here, we are getting the signal stop. That means consumer is not having any amount extra with which he can buy any of these commodities. So the fourth unit also has been exhausted, so we will put a differentiate at here. So what is the solution? The solution is quantity of X will be 3 and quantity of Y will be 4. That means consumer will buy 3 units of X and 4 units of Y. So like this, using Excel also we can identify the solution of the equi-marginal utility. There is also an extension of this solution by using the scenario analysis. If you are also interested to understand the scenario analysis and how by using the scenario analysis we can find out the solution, or we can check that whether the solution we received here is the right one or not, then definitely you must watch our next video. Thank you for watching.